My name is Dan Milbourne. I'm a plant geneticist here at Teagasc. This exhibit at the Oak Park Open Day is really about breeding better crops for the Irish environment. One of the problems we have in Ireland is that farmers grow varieties that are really bred in the UK and on continental Europe for those environments. And in actual fact, Ireland has probably got a fairly unique agroecology, and it would be very, very useful if we could breed better varieties that are uniquely suited to Irish agriculture. And this is one of the things that we're trying to solve in the Virtual Irish Centre for Crop Improvement, which is a collaborative project funded by the Department of Agriculture and involves Teagasc and 4 universities. It involves 16 senior researchers from those universities, and these are, we think, some of Ireland's leading crop and plant scientists. So how is Vicky addressing these concerns? We're focusing on 6 crops and 4 challenges for Irish agriculture. And the 4 challenges are nutrient use efficiency, disease resistance, abiotic stress tolerance and import replacement. So very, very briefly, what we're trying to do is to breed crops which utilise nutrients more efficiently, that are disease resistant, specifically for diseases that occur in Ireland, are resistant to the types of environmental stresses that we'll encounter in Irish agriculture in the future, and maybe also to target novel markets by having import replacement crops like beans and potatoes that are bred specifically to solve problems that are to do with Irish agriculture. How are we going to do that? Well, effectively what we're doing is we're taking large collections of elite and adapted material, germplasm, that have been developed in other centres around the world. And these collections have taken a lot of time and money to put together. It wouldn't be possible in an Irish context for us to create these populations and characterise them to the level that they've already been characterised. What we're doing is we're taking these populations and growing them in field trials and phenotyping them for a range of these types of traits that we're interested in. At the same time, we're using what we call a multidisciplinary omics approach. And what we basically mean there is we're trying to understand the genetics and the physiology of these of the traits that are important. So what's the output of the project? Well, basically what we're trying to develop are biotechnology-based tools like genetic markers and advanced germplasm that we can give to plant breeders that run breeding programs which target Ireland, and that they can use these tools to more easily develop crops specifically for Ireland. The idea here is basically to shift the cost base. Ireland is a very, very small market for some of these breeders, and if we can make it very, very easy for them to select for the types of characteristics that we're interested in, then it's very, very likely that they'll incorporate those characteristics in varieties that they're breeding for a wider market, but those crops will increase in their suitability for Ireland. A really good example of this, and you'll see this in this exhibit, is Septoria resistance. Septoria is a major disease of wheat in Ireland. It's not a huge problem in either the UK, where rust is the biggest problem, or Europe. And so what we're trying to do is understand the genetics of Septoria, develop markers for Septoria resistance, identify germplasm that breeders could use for incorporating Septoria resistance into their breeding programs. And if we can make these tools and resources open access to these breeders, then it's very, very likely that what we'll see in the future are a greater number of varieties that are more suited for growth in the Irish agricultural environment because they're more Septoria resistant.